Good afternoon and greetings, everybody. The National Broadcasting Company invites you to listen to Glenn Miller's Sunset Serenade. And here he is, friends, that head man himself, Glenn Miller. Come on in, Glenn.
Thank you, Bill. Hello, everybody. It's around 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon here in New York, and that means we're all ready to bring you our weekly Sunset Serenade from the Cafe Rouge in the Hotel, Pennsylvania. It's a big crowd of our friends gathered here today to take part in our USO matinee, and, of course, our Sunset Serenade designed for the pleasure of you folks at home with a special salute to the men in Uncle Sam's service everywhere. Now, for your dancing or listening pleasure, here's your old friend, Tuxedo Junction. The next stop on our musical tour is Dreamsville, Ohio. Ray and the Mountaineers are all set with their maps and megaphones to point out the spots of special interest.
Won't you come with me to Dreamsville, Ohio? There's no better place to dream.
There's a winding lane that leads you
down to a stream. When the moon comes up in Dreamsville,
Ohio,
and it lights the town below,
then you'll know the sweetest moments
you'll ever know. You'll find a kissing rock that stands beside a wishing well,
but you must seal every wish with a kiss,
or you'll break the spell. There's a happiness in Dreamsville,
Ohio,
even money couldn't buy.
All that's missing down in Dreamsville is you and I. In Dreamsville, even money couldn't buy.
All that's missing down in Dreamsville is you and I.
Now, a tune from a picture we made recently out in California. It's Mary and Tex and the Modernaires and Chattanooga Choo Choo.
What you say?
Step aside, partner, it's my day. Bend an ear and listen to my version
of a really solid Tennessee excursion.
Pardon me, boy, is that the Chattanooga Choo Choo?
Yes, yes, track 29.
Boy, you can give me a shine.
Can you afford to board a Chattanooga Choo Choo?
I've got my fare,
and just a trifle to spare.
You leave the Pennsylvania station about 3:45. Read a magazine and then you're in Baltimore.
Dinner in the diner, nothing could be finer
than to have your ham and eggs in Carolina.
When you hear the whistle blowing 8 to the bar, then you'll know that Tennessee is not very far.
Shovel all the coal in, gotta keep it rolling.
Ooh, ooh, Chattanooga, there you are.
There's gonna be a certain party at the station.
Setting in late.
I used to call Funny Face. She's gonna cry until I tell her that I'll never roam.
So Chattanooga choo-choo,
Won't you choo-choo me home?
Chattanooga, Chattanooga,
Get aboard,
Chattanooga, Chattanooga,
all aboard.
Chattanooga, Chattanooga, Chattanooga choo-choo,
Won't you choo-choo me home?
Chattanooga choo-choo.
Again, it's the Sun Valley Serenade Department, and this time it's Marion and the Martineers singing I Know Why. Then the whole gang come in with It Happened in Sun Valley.
Howdy, folks. Let's go for a ride. Get your favorite one to sit by your side. Cuddle up in a sleigh.
Giddy up, Nellie Gray, and away we go. While you listen to the sleigh bells ring, you're yodeling to your baby.
You'll feel nice and warm, no matter how cold it may be.
Take a look at little Jack and Jill. They ski down a hill, that's a snow cloud. Turn and look, there's a spill on a hill. When you're down, it's a thrill to go up again. Everybody ought to learn to ski, well, that is how we first met.
We were that Jack and Jill that skied down a hill. When I looked at you, my heart took a thrill on a hill. It's a thrill I can't forget.
It happened in the valley, not so very long ago.
There were sunbeams in the snow,
Cool snow.
and a twinkle in your eye.
I remember, oh, so clearly, that you nearly married.
Then it happened in Sun Valley, when you slipped and fell, and so did I. It happened in Sun Valley not so very long ago.
There were sunbeams in the snow.
And I fell in love when I saw that twinkle in your eye.
I remember, oh, so clearly, that you nearly passed me by.
Then it happened in Sun Valley,
slipped and fell, and so did I. Now every year we go back and then we recall that fall and that moment when we were there on a hill. So we both take a spill and we're Jack and Jill again.
The box office of the Imperial Theater up in Times Square to get a look at the new Cole Porter musical comedy, Let's Face It. Here's Ray Everly now to sing the hit song of the show, Everything I Love. And there you have the first part of our Sunset Serenade. We'll be back shortly with more music for you folks back home and our special salute to the men in Uncle Sam's service everywhere. So keep listening and don't go away.
This is the Blue Network of the National Broadcasting Company. Glenn Miller's Sunset Serenade.
Miller speaking and inviting you to stick with us as we bring you part 2 of our Sunset Serenade. After our theme, we play a tune that's familiar to all you folks, and we think you're going to find it mighty easy to listen to. I'm doing all right today. Well, anyway, we're going to play Duke Ellington's I'm in a Sentimental Mood.
be proud that you're an American. You stand for life, you stand for love and liberty.
And now here's that part of our program specially designed for the pleasure and entertainment of our men in Uncle Sam's service everywhere. The Navy, the Army, and all you guys that keep 'em flying. Folks, this is Glenn Miller asking everybody listening today to do something we think is mighty important. We'd like you to invest just 1 penny during the next few days. 1 cent that will pay off in big dividends of pleasure and enjoyment to thousands of our boys in the service all over the United States who are doing their job that's keeping this country of ours the greatest place on earth. With that penny, buy a postcard. And in a few seconds, I'm going to tell you how to put it to a very good use. First, we're going to play some tunes for you, the favorites of 5 camps that we picked out to salute this week, and to each of which we've already sent a gift of 50 recordings of America's leading artists. After you've heard the tunes the boys have chosen, it's time for you to get busy with those postcards. Listen to the tunes, pick out the one you like best, write it on that postcard, and send it to me, Glenn Miller, NBC, New York City. That's all you do. Then we'll count the votes, and the camp whose favorite tune receives the greatest number of your cards will be awarded an additional gift, a beautiful radio phonograph combination. Now, you'll agree that's a lot of mileage to get out of 1 penny, because when you invest in the pleasure and entertainment of our men in the service, you're really doing something. We wish you could read the letters of thanks and appreciation from the boys away at camp and from the morale and commanding officers and the USO from coast to coast, and you'd know that the little effort we ask you to go to each week is well worth the short time it takes. Invest your penny today. It'll be one of the best investments you ever made. Well, today marks the first time since we began our Saturday salutes that all our 5 camps picked out a different tune as their favorite. And now we're ready with the songs they've selected. The men of Fort Eustis, the largest Coast Artillery Replacement Training Center in America, have tackled the problem of being away from home in a pretty practical way. I Guess I'll Have to Dream the Rest is the tune that they like best. And here's Ray and the Modernaires saluting all 14,000 of the Eustis men with their favorite.
I guess I'll have to dream the rest.
If you can't remember the things that you said, those nights that my shoulder held your sleepy head,
If you believe that parting's best,
I guess I'll have to
dream the rest. I guess I'll have to dream alone
of honeymoon cruises once dear to my heart, of one-room apartments where we said we'd start,
of foolish things we planned to own.
I guess I'll have to dream alone. I can see
that your heart has gone astray. As for me,
I'll love you the same old way.
I guess I'll have to dream the rest.
There'll be no friends waiting to throw shoes and rice. Those heavenly moments will never come twice.
I'm thankful for the hours you've blessed.
I guess I'll have to dream the rest.
Yes, I'll have to dream the rest.
When the sailors at the United States Naval Base in Newport, Rhode Island picked their tune, they left a mighty big question mark hanging in the air. And many a guy would like to have the right answer to this one. Do you care?
care? I wish I knew. Won't you try to confess that you find happiness in a tender caress the way I do? Do you care that I am so in love? Please be fair, you know it's true. And just supposing I should say that I've a heart to share, would it matter at all? Do you care? Would it matter at all? Do you care?
Camp Upton, Long Island is next on our list today, and I'd like to mention here that the basketball team of the camp is going to play Long Island University over at the Brooklyn Pharmacy tomorrow night. Good luck, soldiers, and now we hope you like our arrangement of the tune you selected, Piano Concerto. Now, here's that song again, the selection of the men at Fort Hays, Columbus, Ohio. Soldiers, Ray sings for you, Taps Til Reveille.
From Taps Til Reveille, I dream the whole night through. Each night till I hear reveille, I dream, my dear, of you. I have your face before me. The moments we're apart, from taps till I hear reveille, I dream of you, sweetheart.
Down at Camp Beauregard in Louisiana, there's 25,000 soldiers who don't want to set the world on fire, but only in a musical way. Anyway, that's the tune they selected, and as long as they ask for it, we're mighty glad to play it for them.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart. In my heart I have but one desire, and that one is you. No other will do. I've lost all ambition for worldly acclaim. I just want to be the one you love, and with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.
Now, there they are, the tunes, and our camps for this week selected as their favorites. And now, if you're ready with those postcards, the rest is easy. Just pick out the tune you like best, write it on a postcard, and send it to me, Glenn Miller, NBC, New York City. And then to the camp whose tune receives the greatest number of your cards, we'll send as a special gift a beautiful radio phonograph combination. All of us at one time or another invest in something. Sometimes those investments are good and sometimes not so good. But we'll guarantee that the penny you spend each week for that postcard will pay bigger dividends than any other penny you ever invested. It will help bring many hours of pleasure and entertainment for thousands of our men in the service. And we think you'll agree that a penny never did a more important job. So join in the parade and send in those postcards right away. At little guy that fixes the shoes is in again, and he's got plenty of customers. Standing in line is Ray, Marion, Tex, and the Modern Air.
He can mend any tattered shoe, Papa Niccolini. He's your friend anytime you're blue, Papa Niccolini. People send all their troubles to Papa Niccolini, 'cause he trades all their old dreams for new. Children stop at his little shop looking for a penny. Though he's poor, still you may be sure he has given many. And I'm told with his heart of gold, Papa Niccolini will make all of your daydreams come true. Sunday right up till Monday, he's patching and mending old shoes. From Monday right up till Sunday, he'll mend all your heartaches and blues.
Texas, Texas, why do you walk that way?
My shoes need fixing, ain't got the dough to pay.
You should see old Papa Niccolini if that's the way you feel.
Papa Niccolini knows what to do with a heel.
Can he mend any tattered shoe, Papa Niccolini?
He's your friend anytime you're blue, Papa Niccolini.
Then I'll send all my troubles to Papa Niccolini.
'Cause he trades all your old dreams for new.
Children stop at his little shop looking for a penny.
Though he's poor, still you may be sure he has given many.
And I'm told with his heart of gold, Papa Niccolini
Will make all of your daydreams come true.
Patching and mending, mending and patching. Works from Monday right through Sunday.
Who's that?
Papa Niccolini.
And now we pause for a moment to invite you folks at home to join us in congratulations to the men of the Marine Barracks on Parris Island down in South Carolina, because their favorite, You and I, polled the greatest number of your cards and letters, and that special prize, a console radio phonograph combination, will soon be on its way to them. We all join in hoping it fills many a gap when the boys are looking for that little extra entertainment during their spare time. And now the tunes for you to vote on today: Fort Eustis, Virginia, I Guess I'll Have to Dream the Rest; Camp Upton, New York, Piano Concerto; Fort Hays, Ohio, Taps Til Reveille; Camp Beauregard, Louisiana, I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire; and the Naval Base at Newport, Rhode Island, Do You Care? There you have the favorites of our 5 camps for today, and I'd like to remind you once again about putting those pennies to work. Stop off at your post office and pick up a few postcards. We're sure that if you could know the great amount of pleasure your cards would help to add to the enjoyment of our boys in the service, you'd agree that a penny postcard is a mighty small investment to make. And while you're at the post office, inquire about defense bonds and stamps. They'll make swell Christmas gifts for anyone, gifts that increase in value the longer they're kept. And what's more, remember that every stamp and bond you buy is one more guarantee that our American way is here to stay. Now back to the music with one of your favorites, one of we like to play for you, In the Mood. the curtain time on today's Sunset Serenade. But remember to be on hand next Saturday, same time, for a new edition dedicated to our men in the service and you folks back home. Most important, though, is don't forget those postcards. Send them along. The boys will sure appreciate it. And till we're back with you again, we ask you to keep them flying. Bill?
Thank you very much, Glenn, for another very delightful Sunset Serenade. Be with us again next time, folks. In the meantime, this is the Blue Network of the National Broadcasting Company.